And now we're talking about Arabs. Arab people, the ones that people are now protesting in favor of all over America and throughout the world. Black people are supporting the Palestinians, is complaining about occupation by another country, Israel. And yet Africans, black people, African Americans have disconnected with the relationship between Arabs and themselves. Let's take a step back. We got to go back to the year 647. That's 1,376 years ago. That's how long this problem started. Not 400 years ago, but 1,376 years. This is when the country of Libya, a beautiful country, right off the Mediterranean Sea. You can see through this photo how beautiful this land actually is. However, the name that's associated with the nation today is Gaddafi. Gaddafi was the leader of this nation, was recognized mainly for the past 30, 40 years, and yet he himself and most of the people who live in Libya are not indigenous. They're not the people who actually formed that nation, but they were occupiers. They occupied that land 1,376 years ago. And today, less than 5% of the population are indigenous. And who are the indigenous of Libya? Well, let's take a quick look. This is what an indigenous person of Libya looks like. Just like these people that you're taking a close look at. Now, what do the occupiers look like? This is the people that have wiped out more than 95% of the population of indigenous people of the nation of Libya. Over 1 million people have been wiped out from their own land. And yet, African Americans in particular give praise to Gaddafi, even though it is not their nation. They're not the indigenous people. So when you start seeing these Palestinian protests all over the world in favor of Palestinians, Arabs, who claim that this is their land, begin to question their origin. What's important to realize, the relationship of black people, because they've done this to Africans throughout the continent of Africa, way before the Europeans even got involved. For nearly over 1,000 years before Europe started going after Africa. It was and continued to this day to be the Arabs. The greatest threat to people in Africa are the Arabs, because the Europeans, our colonizers, don't live in Africa. However, the Arabs conquer the land and make it their own, just like Libya, for the 1,376 years and ongoing. They have taken over the land of people, stole it from them, wiped them out of the planet, with about 5% of the population being the indigenous people. Think about what you're doing when you're protesting in favor of a people that have done that to you in your own continent. You gotta have far greater thinking abilities and realizing that this is not your friend. These are not people that should be trusted because of their track record. There's more nations that have been involved in this conquest of the Arabs. We're going to go over that in the next videos, but watch these videos. Be a supporter of KCZIN, because our people need to be informed about the 1,376 years of conquest and actually killing our people in Libya, in particular when it comes to their leader, Gaddafi. We have to be informed that these people that are protesting are supporting that behavior against our own people, against Africans, against African Americans, black people throughout the world. The next videos will go into further. Remember, become a subscriber to KCZIN, and let's keep this movement of independence for our people alive.